Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Blessed Sex Fitness Apparel Podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Coley, and today on the show we have a special guest, Mr. Jason Criddle. He's an author, investor, weight loss expert, and a serial entrepreneur. I want to thank you for joining us today, Mr. Criddle. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
Oh, blessed, right? Like that's what you want to say. It's been a good day. Like I keep having these moments where I recently brought on this belief system that if something doesn't work out, then something better is like right around the corner. And so it's like that's just what I tell myself from now on. And I tell myself if this good thing doesn't work out, it's better. If this relationship with this person doesn't work out, it's because they're readying you for somebody else. If this situation or this investment doesn't work out, it's because there's a better thing going around the corner. And so like I've really been trying to embrace that. Like I've been trying to stand up straighter. I've been trying to drink more water, and like these are the things that I think that I've been missing from my life that I wasn't concentrating on before. I was always concentrating on business or concentrating on the next client or trying to do something for our portfolio. But now I'm really focusing on like, what are the habits and what are the things that I'm doing on a regular basis that are keeping me from moving forward? Rather than like, what are all these circumstances that I am trying to control?
Right.
It's been a great day.
Well, I'm so glad that you had a great day, and I like that belief system. Something doesn't work, and something better definitely is coming. I like that a lot. Definitely a lot. So let's just jump right into things. I just want you to let us know tell us who is Jason Criddle. What would you describe what are you giving to the world? Who are you?
Yeah. It's like I run this little investment firm, but the only reason why I've had any success in any business at all, I mean, even with the companies that we run, it's because I have always been focused on, whenever I got into like when I got into business and to consulting and to investments, I had just come out of the fitness world. I was a personal trainer. I helped hundreds of people lose thousands of pounds, and I had lost a couple hundred pounds myself. One thing about doing that really taught me about people's motivations, and it taught me that um, people come up with a goal or something, and they get motivated about something, and they give up. And they usually give up whenever they find out how hard something is going to be. And then that goes in relationships. It goes with business. Like, so the only way that someone can really get anywhere in the gym, right? Like the only way they can get anywhere in the gym is they have to fall in love with going to the gym. You can't fall in love with the idea that you're going to be in shape one day. You have to fall in love with the sport. You have to fall in love with working. So like that's a process that needs to be taken. It needs to be taken seriously in order to succeed in the gym. So the same thing goes in business. Like a lot of people concentrate on, oh, I'm going to be a CEO one day, or I'm going to own a successful business one day. But they don't necessarily concentrate on what are the processes that I have to put in place to continue to make income on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. What processes do I have to have in order to deliver my product or service to my customers and make sure those customers are happy? So while it sounds like I might be talking about business or relationships or fitness, I'm really just talking about how I live and approach life. Whenever I was a trainer, I realized that I was usually the only person in someone's corner. Whenever someone tried to be better themselves, then it almost seemed like everybody turned against them. Like even whenever I was trying to lose my weight, like I had almost no support system. The same thing happens whenever someone starts a business. They They might get excited about something. They might get excited about a new change or a new chance at growth, but then the people around them like condemn them for trying because they're not necessarily trying to do something better themselves. So at the end of the day, I really just focus on being in somebody's corner. So as an investor, I'm the person that's there to tell you whether a deal is good or bad. I'm the person that tells truth in what it is that you have to do in order to go forward. And that's what we do as a business. And then I do the same thing with my kids. I do the same thing with everybody I meet. Whenever somebody says, "Oh, I'm moving next week," I'm like, "Let's go." You know, like, tell me what time, I'll show up. And not only that, but I'll buy lunch and I'll work harder than everybody that's there because I just like to be that person for people because I never had that myself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm definitely glad to know that you stand for something, you're advocate and helping people, you know, and being that person to be there as a support system because you're wanting that, and we all want that, you know what I mean? So, you know, to take the lead and be that person is definitely great. Um, I wanted to know how has your weight loss journey been thus far? Are you still into that, or is it more on the business side of things for you now?
Yeah, so I tell everybody like now I'm working on my new before picture. that's my joke, right? So here's the funny thing, like whenever I got motivated before to become a personal trainer and I lost all that weight, one, my testosterone was a lot higher, right? So that's one. And I'm not even kidding. Like that's something that we have to take into account. I was like 29 years old. Now I'm like almost 42. And it's just a little bit of a change, but it changes your physiology. And then also, I just remember I used to tell people, like, you have to make time to get into the gym. You can't, people say I don't have time. Well, the reason why I was so confident saying that is because I worked in a gym. So when you're at a gym for 8 or 10 hours a day, you can talk trash, right?
Yeah.
But whenever you have a life and you have children and everything, then all of a sudden everything else can get in the way. So over the course of the last 10 or 12 years since I entered my fitness career, or like since I ended my fitness career, I still go. I've competed in many strongman competitions. I've done the Highland Games once. I've done a couple of CrossFit things. Like the thing that I don't focus on now anymore, as opposed to what I used to, is I used to really focus on trying to get my body fat as low as possible.
Yeah.
Like getting ready for Europa in 2012.
Yeah. Wow.
But now it's more like, what is the balance? Like, where's the balance where I feel comfortable living my life, but then I can also sprint and run and lift, and keep my strength and everything.
Right.
One of the things that I'm dealing with right now is like I've discovered that I'm susceptible to COVID. And whenever I get COVID, it gets in my intestines and it like shuts down my GI tract.
Yeah.
And I guess last August I got it again really bad and I was hospitalized and I didn't get my strength back until probably mid November. So I started going to the gym again. So losing that like 3 months, I mean, it just like, it changes everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to, not only do you have to go and get in shape, you have to try, like you have to find it here again.
Yeah.
And I have found that one of the things that has held me back from getting back in shape the way that I used to be like 12 years ago is the knowledge that I have of how to get there. Because I lie to myself, right?
Right.
And you tell yourself like, oh, well, I know how to do it, so I can do it at any time. So, but yeah, now it's just trying to find a balance. I make sure that I get like 12 to 15,000 steps a day. Like I make sure that I walk every day. Instead of going to the gym like 6 or 7 days a week, then really go to the gym 3 days a week and concentrate on feeling everything that I'm doing. Instead of trying to do as much volume as possible, then I really concentrate on feeling everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
And that makes a huge difference. And so while I used to go in there and try to throw around as much weight as I could, I'm learning how to take like light weights and kick my own ass.
Yeah.
And really just getting that mind muscle connection, getting that sweat going, and making sure that everything is effective.
Yes. So that basically, you answered the next question. I was going to lead to the next question and ask you, how do you achieve balance with health and career? You definitely dabbled in that a little bit. So I guess we could get right into the business side of things. I did a little research on you, interesting, Google you and look at a few of your YouTube videos and whatnot. And I came across, so what exactly is Smarter Women, Smarter E-commerce, Smarter Holdings? Are they the same thing?
Yeah, so Smarter is a big brand. Like, I was actually talking about it earlier. Like back in 2015, Smarter was an all-natural brain supplement. It was called Smarter Pills. And I had just come out of spending a couple of years consulting with multi-level marketing companies and teaching them how to utilize the compensation program instead of selling makeup or selling products. Right. Like how to scale it so that you can get a free car. And so anyway, I wanted to turn my own brain supplement. It was just like all natural. It had, shilajit and different kinds of mushrooms, like all these things that people take today. Like I wanted to make this thing like, 10 years ago. But I saw a lot of problems with multi-level marketing, and I wanted to, without going heavily into it, I wanted to change the fact that I didn't want to pay to sell your stuff. And so, so I made a multi-level affiliate program, and people saw our app, and like nobody wanted to buy our product, but business owners liked the app. And so then we kind of like reformulated it, and now that company is worth like $120 million. And so after like 8 years of like working on different products, and like we really found our niche. And then at the same time, not only do we have customers that are paying subscriptions to like utilize this software, affiliate software, affiliate apps, affiliate websites, we also process all their transactions. So we're taking a piece of each transaction too.
Oh, awesome.
And then like Smarter Women is something that I've been wanting to put together. So Smarter Holdings is like, it's our portfolio. We have other companies in there. And Smarter is just our name. It's our brand.
Okay.
So we have like these little segments that are going throughout the company where we might find a particular market. Like we're about to launch Smarter Automotive. So basically it's smarter apps. It's the same smarter apps that people can buy or sell, but it's like grungier, and it's being focused on the mechanic marketplace. So like mechanic shops and tire shops and people that want to, those kinds of companies that want to use our software, but giving it a little bit different style so that it speaks to that demographic, right? And then Smarter Women is like, it's a website right now. It's a leadership group that I've been wanting to put together for a while. I have a couple of dozen really, really great women that I work with in Smarter, based in Criddle and Associates. And sometimes we talk about like making content, making a TV channel. And then not only that, like providing education and resources specifically to women who are in business. Because as an investment firm, I guess I'm not even going to say it as an investment firm. I'm not even going to say it as an entrepreneur, but just as someone with a little bit of experience. I see businesses fail and fail and fail again because people don't do the basic things that they need to do in order for that company to run. And so while everybody thinks they know what they want, we kind of want to give people what they need. And the reason why I came up with that idea is because I was raised by a single mom who I watch get screwed by everybody. Yeah. And so I just wanted to, I watched my mom try to start businesses so many times. And like a lot of times when she would try to start a business, she would put hundreds or thousands of dollars into it to find out it was a scam. Wow. And there's like this entire segment of our society that makes tens or even hundreds of billions of dollars just to rip off new entrepreneurs that don't know better. And so I kind of want to stop that. And so that's what my goal is. Like, if I were to ask you, Stephanie, like, think of what is the company that you can go to start a business.
I don't know.
Right. So that's the goal. Like, that's what the ultimate goal is to have a platform where people come, and then on the other side of it, they're successful. And that's what my goal is for Smarter. That's what my goal is for Jason Criddle. Like, and I think that I'm still trying to figure out all of it. You know what I mean? So it's like we have products, we have software, we have a vision, but it's like, how do we combine all those? And I think that that's what I get into. Like, now I want to start building a culture. Like, we have all this affiliate software, and there's people around the country that use the affiliate software. But now I want to fill a stadium full of tens of thousands of reps that are out there selling our stuff, out there helping businesses grow. Because I've always believed if like 30,000 people can get excited about selling candles, then I can get 30,000 people excited about helping you make money with your company, you know?
Right. I mean, you were on it. You were so on it. You're like going into my next questions with effortlessly. It's like we're in sync.
We should also let everybody know that I didn't know the questions. That's kind of cool.
It's so crazy how he's just like sliding. This is so meant to be. It's so crazy. So the next question is, how do you provide ways to make money? It's so crazy. So I guess we could probably, awesome. I don't know. You just clearly explained that question and ended it with it on what you do as far as ways, how you help to make people provide ways to make people make money. So we could go on to the next question. What is your ideal peak performance in business? Like, what do you think is an ideal time for a person to just go at it, or is it just all the time, or?
Yeah, at any time. The problem is people take a really lackadaisical approach to it. This is a joke. Like, if somebody has heard me talk on any other show, then they probably heard me say it, because it's a joke I use a lot. Like, business cards should come in packs of 5, because that's usually how many people give out before they give up. Like they're giving people a discount to buy like 1,000. It's like, give them a really cheap discount to buy like 5, you know?
Yeah. So they're so short now.
Right. So the biggest thing is people don't take business seriously. Most people that call themselves an entrepreneur or a CEO, which is a board appointed position by other people, not you, or people, did you like that? Did you like that die, So here's the thing, like, someone will get an idea and they'll be like, oh, this idea makes me money. And then they go and they find customers, and then their tummy hurts or their kid gets sick. and then they don't follow through on what they need to do to fulfill that customer, and then they destroy a relationship. So you can couple that upset tummy or kid being sick with anything, right?
Right.
The whole thing is people don't take it seriously enough to actually follow through to create a business. So it's not necessarily like what's the best time to start a company, because a company can be started at any time. You can name something, you can go and sell something on the street. I mean, like at any time. It's, are you going to follow through on what's needed to actually turn it into a brand that would be sustainable enough to be a company or a business?
Right.
Like what the goal would ultimately be is to have a company that's making money without your involvement.
Yes.
Right?
Residual
And
income.
yeah, right. And then you just and then after you get that one going, you start another one. You get that one going, and you start another one. So that's the goal. But people will spend the next 8 months drawing a logo on different pieces of paper. And they'll tell people about this business that they're going to start one day, and they might get someone that says that they would be a customer if they had that business. Well, by the time they go and do the things that it takes to process that transaction, the customer's gone because they lost their momentum.
Yeah, the world has evolved to something else.
Right. So whenever someone, if I'm repping a brand, like if I'm talking about Smarter, if I'm talking to a business owner about Smarter, then I would ask the business owner, like, hey, what do where are most of your customers coming from? And 90% of them are going to say repeat and referral business. And I'm going to ask, have they ever thought about getting a referral or affiliate app? I'm going to tell them, hey, go ahead and download Smarter Marketing on your phone. And I'm going to stand right there and I'm going to walk them through putting in a referral code. Within like 20 seconds, they're on the platform that I need them on in order to make the purchase. And then I'm going to tell them exactly why they need this app. And then they make that purchase. So if you really think about how simple that was, then not only could that sale be made within a minute, well, those sales can also happen around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No one has to sell it because there's enough education and information available on the websites and in the apps for people to make a decision themselves. There's terms and conditions and policies that cover us legally and cover the customer. Whenever the purchase is made, nobody gets in the way of the customer receiving their product.
Right.
No one gets in the way of the customer becoming successful. Mm-hmm. So these are, and then I was asleep. Right?
Yes.
So that's what, right. And so that's what the goal is.
Yes.
And so one of the most important things is, I would say, if anybody is going to start a business at all, then really focus on, from the very beginning, focus on scalability. Focus on selling some kind of product or service, whether it's consulting or coaching or a book. Sell something where you don't have to show up. I mean, if you want to mow lawns or if you want to do nails, that's all good. I mean, I would rather have people working for me that are mowing the lawns and doing the nails.
Right.
But at the same time, like, the only reason why any of us are working 40 hours a week is because somebody told us to do it. But that might not be what life is about, right?
Yeah. True. So so with that, in terms of the whole peak performance, the ideal peak performance, how do you measure the professional success? How does that go in with everything? Like, how do you know, like, okay, I've made it after you did all it? What will let you know that, hey, I've made that mark, I did everything, and it's currently now professional success? What?
Money. That's a pretty good marker, right? Like,
yeah.
seeing your revenue go up, you
Right.
know, and then not only that, but being able to expand into other companies. Like for years we were focused on the affiliate software. And then we really started focusing on processing transactions. And then at some point, that became automated. And then last year we started focusing on selling TV channels. Like that might sound silly, but like entrepreneurs and content creators are now moving to Roku, and they're moving to Samsung and Apple TV and everything. So,
Seeing all these.
so right. So we became licensed with 22 different service providers to build TV channels. And then not only that, but we put it on the affiliate program. So the funny thing is the streaming TV channel ended up being probably the easiest sale we have ever made with a piece of technology. And then it also changed the sales process for selling a smarter app, because we would go to content creators and we would say, hey, why aren't you on TV yet? Like I can get you on TV for like $1,200. You try to make that conversation as casual as possible, right? And then somebody that sells that TV, they make a couple $100 from that sale.
Right.
But then that TV channel, once that TV channel is bought or sold to that entrepreneur, that business owner, that consultant, then at that point we say, oh yeah, and this is on a smarter app. You can buy that here. And so a lot of times whenever someone is making a purchase of the TV channel, they inquire about the software that they're using to make the purchase on. And they say, man, I would really like something like this for my business because I could get more salespeople. My customers can turn into my salespeople.
Yeah.
And so people that usually buy a TV channel end up buying an app. When for years we had to like do everything that we could to change how we would sell apps. But now it's just kind of like an add-on, right?
Yeah. Pretty good.
So I would say like a measure of progress would be like when you get something automated to the point to where it can make money without your involvement, and then you can move on to something else.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're concrete in that, and you know, okay, hey, we got that. The sales going. It's been going up every quarter, every year,
Right.
and go on to something else. That's definitely good.
Right.
I'm glad to hear what you're putting out, and I love the examples that you're are using. I also looked at in one of your YouTube videos, and you were talking about the you were talking about the build any brand incubator offices. Are we still doing that, or how's that?
So we found so that went on for a good 6 or 7 months, and we were wanting to redo it this year. Like it's something that we were actually talking about a couple weeks ago. I don't think you found any audio where I talked about this. I'm about to get real, okay? All right. So we spent a lot of time, money, and effort putting together this Build Any Brand event here in Dallas. We had RSVPs from, I would say, 100 entrepreneurs. But in order to get to that point of the RSVPs to the 100 entrepreneurs, we probably sent out emails, text messages, personal phone calls, all this stuff to, I don't know, maybe 1,500 people. Okay.
Okay.
Of a lot of those 1,500 people, we got a lot of rudeness. We got cussing. We got take me off your leaping list. We got this, that, and the other thing. Of the 100 RSVPs, 12 people showed up. So we went from 1,500 legitimate business owners who we had spent 3 months prior getting these leads and nurturing these leads for this to happen. So it showed me one thing, and it showed me that what I just talked about 20 minutes ago is exactly right. People don't take this shit seriously. Like, how dare you print a business card and then cuss at somebody because they contact you on the phone that you put on that card? How dare you get an email and
Right.
then degrade somebody because if I got a text message from anybody on my phone about an event, a podcast, a phone call, a partnership, an opportunity, a sale, anything like that, then I'm going to hear them out. Because even if I don't need what they have, that could be a connection that could lead me to a million other opportunities that I would have never had before had I not talked to that person.
Right. It's
That
true.
right there is why people are not successful, because they're not taking it seriously. They're not connecting with people. They're not talking to people. So once this event happened, then we changed. Hey, let's go and rent a place and then have this incubator. We started doing it out of an event space in my buddy's restaurant in Plano. And we ran that for a few consecutive months last year. And then we decided that we wanted to revisit, like, either running it in the event center again this year or going actually renting a space. And the reason why I'm considering it again is because I want to believe that we're coming out of this funk. Like, COVID messed us up. Like, COVID messed up humanity. Like, it changed everything. Oh my God. It
Yeah.
changed everything about the way people talk, about people's dreams. It changed people just want to get by. People want to sleep on a couch. People don't want to commit to relationships. I mean, it changed everything.
Yes.
But I believe that we're coming out of it.
I mean, I
So,
think it's a great idea. It's a great idea. When I saw watched the video, you were talking about it. I was like, that's very interesting. I've never heard anyone, say something like that. Like, you hear stuff about like office space or the spaces that they have, but not where you're giving the fundamentals to make it happen in the space. You know what I mean? That's definitely
right.
good.
Right, and that was the idea, and I think it's actually a very symbiotic model. It's like if somebody wants to pay $200 a month to use our software, then they can have access to the office for free. If somebody wants to pay $200 a month for office space, then they have access to the software for free. If somebody wants to sell our software, then they have access to all of it for free. So if somebody wants to come in, like think about that. Like, the model is so beautiful because I literally want to pay people to build their company. I want to pay them. I want to pay them. I want to give them a free office. I want to pay them income. I want to give them commissions. I want to buy them a car. I want to give them a cell phone for them to build their brand. And yeah, there's not a model out there like that. And so, like, in my head, it's like, that's the thing. That's
Yeah,
the
top
thing that could become the thing, you know?
tier. It's top tier. It's like you're centuries ahead with that one, light year ahead with that one. Like, I've never heard of anything like that. It's like some movie that you watch, literally, but not the bad one. Where you have people
Right.
that cube it into this thing, and it's a building. It's a building block. It's a building block. It's a building process. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. And I wish you much success with that. I thought it was great. When I literally lit up when I watched the video and I heard you talking, I was like, oh wow, that is so cool. So I said I definitely wanted to ask about that and see where you're going with that. But life happens, things happen. Sometimes
Right.
to take 10 steps forward. You know what I mean? So
Right.
definitely much success in that. What's next for you? Like, what do you got planned for us? What's next?
I really want to focus on that culture. Like, this year, I really want to focus on building a big sales team. Like, I want hundreds, I want thousands of salespeople out there now. And so we've always been concentrating on either improving the software or finding the best way to sell it. And now, since we have the best of both worlds. I really just want to give people a simple platform where they can download apps. And I mean, they already have the simple platform where they can just download an app and go and sell that and make money. But I want to start focusing on making that a household thing.
Yeah.
So like I want reps. Like I want to build a legit sales team. I want us to. I went to this event for this insurance sales company. I was invited to this function, and they had a gala at night, and they had an award ceremony, and they had hundreds of people that were just so excited to be there working for that company. And like whenever I went, I was like, "This is what I want."
Yeah. That just literally gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps when you said that. That is like
Right?
that is a great thing to want to do, just to have that in thought, a reward ceremony, award ceremony, to just highlight the people who are just wanting to make their business a success. That's
Right.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. That's the difference between us. Like that's one of the things I always say. The difference between me and everybody else in the room is they're all trying to sell their stuff. I'm trying to help them sell it.
Yeah.
And whenever you go to one of these conventions, one of these sales conventions, well, everybody in the room is always selling the same stuff. So even though they're all getting together, essentially they're everybody's competition. Like if you're in a room where you're not competing against everybody, then it's a lot easier to celebrate everybody that's in there.
I think so too. Definitely believe that. I'm a firm believer in that. Believing that, where it's not so much competition, everyone gets all frizzle toes walking on eggshells, when I think it should be in a different perspective. Like, everyone's trying to make something, walk around, buy some stuff from some other people, and not, be so uptight about everything, and, taking stuff personal. Everyone's trying to grow and be something. It's only a few that, really want it more than the others. So.
Well, the only reason why the segment of the only reason why the industry, like I guess you could call it industry, like let's call it mergers and acquisitions, an entire industry all on its own. The only reason why that can't exist is because there's people that are smarter than us that are going out there and they're saying this company does the same thing and this company does the same thing. Let's put them together. And your average small business owner doesn't think that way. They're in such a competitive mindset that they're not thinking about collaboration. Exactly. Because especially if you're in a service business, at some point your schedule is going to get full.
Yeah.
And whenever my schedule gets full, I still want to make money. Yes. If I was a general contractor, I would immediately make friends with a couple of other general contractors that can take jobs that I cannot take and make 20% off of those jobs.
Yep.
And what my ultimate goal would be to not be going to any jobs, right?
Right.
So just a different way to look at business.
Indeed. Do you have anything that you want to share off topic or on topic with the audience before we wrap things up here today?
Okay. Whenever I saw on my schedule today that I was going to come on your show, I started listening to your show. And I spent more time, I'm flipping through and I'm listening to your intros, and then I go, anyway, I was listening to your episode in July on mental health. And that's like, I would challenge every single person that listens to this to write a book about their life. And then not only write a book about their life, but air out all the dirty laundry that they possibly could have in that book. And then publish that book. Because then no one can use it against you. because no one can say this person did this terrible thing, because then you can be the person that owned up to it and decided to make a change with your life. You know, and so I think that the reason why so many people struggle with mental health is not necessarily because, and I know that there's a lot of, there's a huge spectrum.
A whole wide one.
There's a whole lot of stuff that people can't help, but there's a whole lot of stuff that we can.
Indeed.
And regardless of who hurt us, we are responsible for our healing so that our pain does not hurt other people. We are responsible for that.
This is the truth. This is the truth.
And so you said something that I say all the time. When you're feeling bad about yourself, go do something nice for another person.
Yeah. I still do that. I live by that, literally.
Because regardless of how successful I look on the outside, I hurt here every day of my life. I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle with the same exact things that any other person struggles with. So I purposely spend my day trying to speak life into other people, trying to give people a positive experience,
Yes.
trying to do things to help people. Like if I am broke and I don't have the time and I don't have the money and I don't have the car, I don't have the gas, then I'm still going to find a way to help you with whatever you got to do today. You know?
Criddle, are you?
Yeah, right? But, you know, like, imagine what the world would be like if people that felt bad about themselves went out and started doing good for other people.
Yeah, this is true. Instead of doing other things, crazy, lucid things that don't make sense, but definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you mind sharing any of your social handles, like where everyone can find you, Facebook, Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm not really active on social media, even though like I get these spurts where I'll put up stuff for a month and then I disappear. But on just about every handle that somebody could find me on, I'm at the real Jason Criddle. So.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Mr. Criddle, for being here with us today. I appreciate all of your words. They were very encouraging, enlightening. I learned a few things. I took from a few things that you said, and I can relate, and it resonates with me, a few of the things that you said. And I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you and who you are and what you stand for in your being. There's not too many people who, I want to say, are so open to giving themselves first to help someone. You know what I mean? And
Thank
still
you.
be going through the things that they're going through, which you disclosed to us. And I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that. And thank you for being such a gentle human being on this earth, Mr. Criddle.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I think we just all need to spend more time being authentic, and that goes into the mental health. Like, we don't have to put on a certain face for this person or this person or this person. Just find who it is in yourself that can get through today. And, if you do one thing today to make your life a little bit better, then that's a pretty good day, and that's a pretty good person. And then at the same time, that's a pretty good face to wear in front of everybody. Because when you go and you get on social media, or if you go to this party with these friends, or you go to this social situation and you have to pretend to be happy, or if you leave your house without a smile and then you go somewhere and smile and then you come back home without a smile, then there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with not smiling. There's something wrong with putting on that persona, because that persona that you're putting on is tearing you apart inside.
Indeed.
And it's keeping you from being who you ultimately want to be. So,
Indeed. Agree with that. If you could give one piece of advice for the next year, we're not going to say, I was going to say 5 years, but who knows? We're going to say for the next year. What would be that piece of advice that you would give?
This is speculation. It's just from a guy in an industry. I believe that within the next 3 to 4 years, there's going to be a digital dollar. And when that happens, if you are not rich, then you are going to have a very difficult time getting there. So everybody spend the next 3 to 4 years building whatever you can. Because when there's no more cash in society, life is going to change for everybody.
Indeed. That's a powerful one right there. Powerful one right there. Digital coin. You guys hear that from Mr. Jason Criddle himself. I want you guys to go ahead and check him out on all social media platforms. Check out some of his YouTube videos. Listen to him. He's a powerhouse. He has a lot of knowledge in him, and I just want to thank my audience for being here. I thank you again, Mr. Criddle, for being here with me. I appreciate you. I'd love to have you to probably meet you in person probably one day, and we sit down and have a conversation, and just network. But like
when you come to Dallas, let's go to the gym.
yeah,
and then let's record. You know what I mean? Like, let's record it. Like, let's record some content.
Indeed. I like that. We could definitely hook up and do that. That'll be good. That'll be definitely good.
All right.
Definitely. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Anything you want to say before we end this program, Mr. Criddle?
No, man. I had a lot of fun. I would like to do this, like, more. We can do this anytime.
Awesome. Definitely look forward to that. You heard what he said, y'all. He's looking forward to do this again. So when y'all see Mr. Criddle out here again, just know we made that connection. Take it easy, y'all. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in. Blessed X Fitness Apparel Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Coley. Love and light. Mr. Criddle.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for tonight.